So now we got our money in our banks, in black banks, okay? Black banks and black credit unions. And we also have $100. Each depositor has $100 in a separate savings account in that same institution. Now we're gonna get someplace. Now the next thing we have to do is start this black on black conversation, because see, in my travels, there's a whole lot of black people that I see that don't like other black people, and that is the reason why we have not gotten together. Folks, we have to subdivide in order for us to come together. And I'm going to explain that to you, and I'm going to break it down. I'm going to show you. I'm going to make it really simple for you. But when I talk about subdivide, not basically, black Americans are the only people on the earth that are not subdivided. Everybody else is subdivided. I mean, from every continent. I mean, that's just how it is. When you talk about Asians, Asians are not just Asians. Asians are Japanese, Filipino, Korean, Vietnamese, Chinese. Listen, and they're all different. They all come from homogeneous societies. They all look alike, talk the same language. All the political influence is all by Japanese if you're in Japan, by Koreans if you're in Korea, by Vietnamese if you're in Vietnam. These sorts of things. And so along with that, a lot of these people don't get along. They don't get along. People say, oh, black people can't get along. Well, shit, Asians and whites and Latinos can't get along either. Nobody can get along. It doesn't work like that. You have to subdivide into groups and to do your thing. You can't go anywhere and don't find Italian towns or China towns or Spanish enclaves all over the place. I'm talking about all over. You don't see that with us because we're not subdivided. We haven't been taught that. But I'm gonna teach you now. Because when you look at the Asians and that's how they are, the Chinese and the Japanese haven't diplomatically spoken to one another since 1949. That's almost 70 years. I mean, can you imagine that? I mean, a lot of these countries hate each other. I mean, look at Africa. I mean, the Ethiopians and Somalians, they don't get along. They're Christians and Muslims right across the horn from each other, but they're different. It's the same thing in the Caribbean. I mean, the Bahamians, they don't like them Haitians. Them Dominicans, they hate Haitians. I'm talking about Haitians hate some of them. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, and then when you're dealing with whites, I mean, we Latinos, it's the same thing. I mean, Puerto Ricans, they don't like Cubans. Mexicans don't like, Mexicans and Cubans don't. I mean, it's all these different, connections, but all these people are basically subdivided. You see what I'm saying? All these groups are subdivided. And the whites, you got, a lot of white people don't like Jews. There's ethnic cleansing all throughout the European ancestry. I mean, these people, they hate each other. They're all white, but they hate each other. So you don't just call them white, you call them who they are. But only people you call their color is black people. So you just lump us all together. And my 40 years of study has shown me this, traveling from state to state, city to city. You understand me? Here's what I found out. See, when I ask black people, and I've done this all over, north, south, east, and west, and all points in between, all economic levels, bougie, rich, elitist, poor people, middle class people, I've asked them all. And I get the same answer. When I ask, there's no hesitation. What kind of Negroes you don't like? They tell you right away. And basically it's like this. Bougie Negroes don't really like, ghetto Negroes. And ghetto Negroes don't particularly like bougie Negroes. That's just how it is. It reminds me of back in the day when it was slavery. I'm talking about hundreds of years. Let's go back 400 years. I'm talking about when we were enslaved. We had house Negroes and field Negroes. The field Negroes worked out there. We know the story. They was running away. They was physical. You got Mandingas out there telling them gonna kill something and tear something up. You're not enslaving me. I'm not changing my name. All this, they gonna run away, and then the house Negroes, the bastard, they gonna run away tonight. Or we found out they had a meeting, and Lord have mercy, because the master got them all scared, because they'd take one of them little babies they got and throw it on the ground and smash their head with them big old 14 shoes that they be wearing, you understand, right in front of them, scaring the hell out them people, you know. And so, you know, so that's how that was bred. You understand? I ain't gonna even discuss the butt busting, you understand me, but the buck busting. But anyway, the bottom line is, people, you know, those types of things happen.